It was middle of the night. I didn't even know what time it was. I was sound asleep. I get a call. Our house is on fire on Jarrettsville Pike. And there was a massive fire in the master bedroom upstairs. And it was a extension cord to an extension cord. The house was built probably close to 100 years ago, if not 100 years ago. And there are very few plugs in each room. And they had run a plug from the front back to the bed, and they put a connector, and then there was clothes on top of the connector, and there was no flames until they actually pulled it up, and then it just went wild. The burn was mainly in that room. Fire investigations came, of course, and it was decided that it was an accidental fire. There's 5 of us. We're not making a decision now. Close the house up, and we'll decide. And then we took our time and interviewed and decided on Elegant.
When all this took place, we had used Elegant Restoration. It had been recommended through the insurance person, the plumber, that because we had a leak in a rental that we have, and the plumber recommended Elegant Restoration for that.
And they redid the kitchen.
And they redid our kitchen at that house, and we were really pleased with what they did there. So then we, of course, when all this took place up there,
I think the details, if you haven't been through it, are very overwhelming.
But it was overwhelming because all these people were there going, call us, we will come and take everything out. We will board up your house. And we're like, we don't know what to do.
Your time in making a decision. Don't do it that night. Research it, get some feedback on who you're dealing with, and talk to them. What do you want to do? What do you suggest? What makes sense? The thing about Hartford Mutual is they gave us no grief. We called, talked to them, we went back and forth, they came out, inspected the house, we went over everything. They never balked on anything that was needed to be done, and I was totally pleased and in a way a little bit amazed that it was with them as close, easy as it was.
With Doug Brody, and he stayed with us through the whole thing. He worked with us. We would call him. He would say, okay, well, we can do this or we can do that, and he was in contact the whole time. Elegant's fantastic. I would recommend them for anything. I mean, their work is above and beyond. If they had an issue and they would come to us and they would say, okay, here are your options. And we would say, well, what do you think? And they would give us their honest opinion, and it would work out great.
they seemed to work well too with the insurance people. They were in communication all the time. And
I was the one that didn't know anything about Eleanor. They had already used them. They said they liked them. I had never met them. I was impressed. They went through. They were detailed. And not pushy. Not let's get this done, hurry up, sign these papers, let's get started. They gave it time to sink in what exactly we had to do. It ended up being a whole lot more than...
More extensive than we thought. It turned out beautiful.
oh yeah.
It's very nice.
Buck and that crew, oh my gosh, Dave, Becca, Crystal, Buck, the work crew, the painter, they would come to us each time and say, this is the next step, how do you want to handle this? And we would say, well, what do you recommend? And there are enough words to describe how well they work with you.
They didn't push anything on us. I mean, they allowed us to make a decision, but they gave good advice. And we pretty much, it was a rental property, but it was a property that's been in the, built by the family, and had been in the family since it
100 years.
1920 something.
But even with the structure, they could go into a room where the floor would be crooked and that.
Oh, yeah.
And when they got done, everything was just straight and precise, and it all fit. And we,
Yeah, the doors.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody that asks me, I say, call Elegant. Ask for Buck.